Olden days, a glimpse of Stockholm was looked on as something shocking. Now heaven knows, anything goes. Hey, good authors too who wanted some better ways, now only use 4 letter ways right and close. Anything goes. Those stairs will be the death of me. But welcome to the wonderful world of sex. I've been scouring the earth, looking how other people do it abroad. Oh, I've missed you, Nobby. The Good Sex Guy gets some sexual healing in South Africa. We meet Miriam in Spain, who needs some sexual healing for a nymphomania. She slept with 2,000 fellas. But first, Michael McNally's got a question for you.
Look at me. See if you can guess what I've got that most American men haven't. Apart from good looks, Geordie charm, and a fantastic body, of course. No? Well, I've got that little bit extra in the trouser department. A foreskin. Are you circumcised?
No.
My chicks would prefer to be cut, man.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I think it's a health matter to me.
Last time I checked.
Wouldn't you think that that extra foreskin would collect grime and dirt and stink and...
I've never seen anything that's not uncut before.
I'm cut.
I'm uncut.
It's nothing I've ever seen up close and personal before.
You're uncut?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, how would I know that? The last time we were together. You see, 9 out of 10 American men have been circumcised at birth. But in recent years, attitudes have started to change. And one of the most outspoken campaigners against male circumcision has no idea what it's like to have a foreskin. Or a penis, for that matter.
Yeah, good.
Because she's a woman. Marilyn Miles runs an organisation called No Circ, the National Organisation of Circumcision Information Resource Centres, of which there are 30 worldwide. No Circ lobbies the medical profession to stop supporting circumcision. Marilyn lives just outside San Francisco with her boyfriend, Ken.
So how did you get involved?
Well, I have 3 circumcised sons, and I had no idea what was done to them. I was told that circumcision was necessary, that it was better for babies, that it didn't hurt. And when I was a nursing student, I saw circumcision for the first time. And I was shocked and horrified to see a baby strapped down and without an anesthetic have part of his penis cut off. I started to cry uncontrollably. I just began to sob. And the doctor looked up to my face and he said, there's no medical reason for doing this. So that was the question mark. And then I began to do research. And the more I read, the worse it got. When I became a nurse in the hospital, I tried to tell parents, and they told me to keep my mouth shut. And circumcision began in the English-speaking countries to prevent masturbation. And we've used one excuse after another to perpetuate surgery. Because the foreskin provides not only the protection to cover the head of the penis, but it keeps the tip of the penis soft, moist mucous membrane. Often an intact man is more gentle in his lovemaking because he too is fragile. He's not, his penis hasn't become hardened and callous.
Ken, you've been circumcised, haven't you? So how has that affected your life?
I feel that something was done to me that shouldn't have been. As if anything, I should have had a choice in the matter, but a part of me was taken without my choice, and I'm a little upset about it.
The only person who has the right to make a choice about circumcision is a person who's going to live with the consequences of that choice.
But there are a lot of guys who've been circumcised who seem perfectly happy with their bodies.
They don't know what they're missing.
So, you've lost your foreskin through no fault of your own and you want it back. Faced with this predicament, is there anything you can do about it? Most men would just accept the situation, zip up and get on with their lives. Others will go to any lengths to regain what they've lost. Roland wanted his foreskin back, so he invented a device that enabled him to do just that. He and his wife Debbie have made a thriving business from this invention.
I guess the real dawn came when I was playing in the school band, and I was playing a trombone, and every time I would bring that trombone up to play it, I would look at the mouthpiece and I was thinking that, you know, that thing had some weight to it, and I wonder if I couldn't maybe use this in a pursuit of restoring my foreskin.
Debbie, has your sex life improved as a result of Roland's new foreskin?
I suppose there is a small difference in the sensation, but it's important to him more than it is to me.
Because, I mean, after all, it's only a bit of skin, isn't it?
Well, it makes a big difference to him in his perception of his sexuality and also in his feeling.
Roland's invention comes in various shapes and sizes to fit every need. He very kindly agreed to disrobe and demonstrate how they work.
First of all, we need a surgical tape. 2 inches wide is preferable. And then we take a device, and they come in different diameters, as you can see. The head of the penis is put into the receiving cup, and the shaft skin is brought up and dropped into this truncated section. And then the tape is put across through here. I'll demonstrate that for you now.
Cut.
Cut. Cut.
Cut. Cut. Cut. Uncut.
Now, don't go hanging anything on your wedding tackle, mate. Or there might be no wedding at all. Marriage has traditionally been the only place where Spanish gals get to clack the castanets. But a sexual revolution has taken place, and the disease of Don Juan, where the need to seduce and have sex, has become overpowering. Well, it's a really strong addiction for some. Miriam Nogueira didn't have sex till she was 23, and now at 40 has had sex with over 2,000 men. She needs at least 4 orgasms a night, and she gets them. Miriam owns a sandwich bar in Barcelona, but sex fills her life. She'll often go to a club and strip and dance just for fun, but by then she'll be needing a man.
Cuando haces el amor,
when you make love, you feel... It's very hard to explain. It's such a big satisfaction. It's like when you try to climb a very high mountain and then you reach the top and say, I've done it. How fantastic. How beautiful this is. Orgasms are very important in sex, but I don't always expect to come. What I like is for the man to orgasm.
After a night of sex with sometimes up to 10 fellas, Miriam gets up at 2, has a late breakfast and a gossip with her girlfriends. But what do they think of her sexploits?
When she sometimes tells me these things about sex, she makes me laugh because she has such a good time and I admire her very much. I just have a different sexual appetite.
She's got something about her that livens you up. In 2 words, she's great, but crazy.
Keeping fit and firm for sex is a necessity for Miriam and helps her to attract the right men.
I think it's important to be fit for sex. If you're agile and strong, the man likes this. He likes you to be in good shape. I started going out with friends, and one day it struck me when I was with a boy at a party and experienced something I'd never experienced before. I'd never been with any man before. Oh, I'm talking about when I was 22 or 23 years old. Then I began to like it. More than like it, I needed it. It's like a person who's thirsty and has to drink and cannot be without it. It's the same with me in sex. It's a very strong addiction. The difference between a prostitute and myself is pretty obvious. A prostitute, for instance, has sex to make a living. I do it to get satisfaction. I fulfill my desire to have a man and be with him simply because we both want it. Taxi drivers have a special attraction. They're taking you to the place you want to go. You're looking at them in the rear-view mirror. They're looking back at you. For me, there's something especially exciting about them. Once, one picked me up. I was coming back from dancing and I was a bit sad. My friends had gone off somewhere, so I was a bit annoyed. But the cab driver who picked me up was really nice. He said to me, "You look serious," and he was making me laugh. So in the end, I started studying him a bit closer, and he was really good looking. And I said, "Hey, stop here." Near my house, there's a fountain, and I made him wash himself, and I started making love to him, and then we did all sorts of things in the taxi. Oh yes, it was really exciting. I still see him a lot now. We're good friends, but now we do it in bed.
Miriam's men call her the Lioness of Barcelona. She hunts in bars and cafes, stalking her prey alone. And after they've satisfied her, she's back on the prowl.
I don't know why I love you, but I do.
The first thing I do when I walk into a bar is to look at all the men, to see which one I like. I look and say, this one, and then why? Because he has beautiful eyes, the way he looks at you. I like this one, his body looks good. I go up to him and say, "Good evening, what are you doing here on your own? Shall we go?" I never beat around the bush because you can tell what my intentions are too easily.
When she practices, I don't want to say when she makes love, because I don't consider it love with her. When she has sex with a man, she likes to be in charge. She likes to direct the act. What she most needs is sexual satisfaction rather than love. And she can't find this in just one man. This satisfaction she needs. She thinks men are like Kleenex. You use them and throw them away.
I don't think I'm exceptional in relation to sex and my addiction. I believe there are many people like me. What happens is that it is a very deep problem and people prefer not to express it, especially in public. But there are lots of people like me.
We're taking Miriam to Mallorca, a resort usually associated with sun, sand, sea and sex. But it's also the home of Europe's first sex addiction clinic, and Miriam's going to find out just how much of a problem she has. Before the break, we met Miriam from Barcelona, who does it 4 or 5 times a night, every night, with different men. You might say she's the lucky one, but most people would think of this as an obsession. So we flew Miriam to Calamea on the Isle of Mallorca, the home of Europe's only sex addiction clinic.
People who become addicted to sex cannot help it. And even though they might want to have a normal sexual activity, they can't, because they become hooked on the addiction. There is a similar addiction to that of sex. Addiction to food, or bulimia. People who are bulimic do not have bad habits. They are sick people. In the same way, people who are addicted to sex are also sick. And the medical profession have to understand this.
For Miriam, it's a chance to find out if needing so much sex is such a big deal.
So have you ever thought you should change your sex life? Because you told me it was excessive. You said that, not me. It's you who said that. Have you ever thought about having less sex?
Yes, but I can't. Sometimes I say, today I'm going to behave myself, and then I go out, and what a gorgeous guy, and I'm back to square one.
Don't you feel that your sexual activity has a professional nature about it?
Not at all.
So it's more of a pleasurable nature?
Of course. Professional would mean I got money for it, wouldn't it? Selling yourself. No, no.
You're saying to me you can't stop it. Maybe you need treatment.
Yes, maybe. Well, I'll tell you. At the moment, I'm looking at you and I'm finding you very attractive. So how am I going to start to be cured by a person who from the start I fancy?
The problem is inside the person. The problem isn't the attractive people around you. They'll always be. You have to say to yourself, I'm interested, and that's okay. Do I carry on as I am now? Or do I open up a new horizon on my life and see what happens?
I could give up for one day.
Well, it's up to you when to start. Give it up today, and we'll see tomorrow.
Oh, I think I could manage one day.
Okay, if you can manage one day, you can manage 2.
Yes, but not a week. Well, the doctor has given me a solution, a prescription of what I have to do. But for the moment, I don't want to follow the doctor's orders. I'm a bit scared. I like men too much. I can't help it. I try sometimes to cut down, but more as a result of being physically tired than any other reason. I will try to keep it within certain limits.
She even fancied the director, but then again, so do I. Apparently, Miriam's still up to her old tricks, bless her, and hasn't taken on any of the good doctor's advice. You see, each country's got its own unique way of dealing with sexual problems. Paul Ross found a few remedies himself in South Africa.
If you've got a sexual problem, chances are a visit to your GP will be pretty much top of your list. But for 8 out of 10 black South Africans, the priority is a trip to the Sangoma, a traditional healer who uses nature's medicines and will summon the spirits of the ancestors to put your love life back on track. There are an estimated 1 million traditional healers in South Africa. Their spiritual wisdom and knowledge of ancient healing remedies earns them huge respect. Dr. Sarah Michelle's expertise in dealing with sexual problems brings her many male customers.
Men hear their friends saying, "My penis has been made bigger. I went to see Sarah and she helped me. Now my penis is perfect." A normal penis should not go all the way from 1 up to 10 lines measured on this horn because it'd be too big and will damage the woman. But some penises only go up to 3 lines, and then the woman will not get satisfied. And then to make the penis bigger, we take some medicine and put it in the horn, and then the man puts his penis in it for a few weeks. The medicine will make the penis grow. Even if he urinates in the horn, it won't hurt him. The only thing is he will get sexually aroused, but then we know the medicine is working. There are many men who will say, "I don't know or care about arousing a woman before I have sex. I get embarrassed, I don't know how to do all these things. All I know is to have sex, I have to be ready for action." Now, a lot of women come to me and complain about this. So I say to them, take this ointment away, and both you and your man should apply it to your bodies, slowly and in a playful way, to the whole body. And when you do this, you both get aroused. A lot of women come for this medicine.
Sangomas jealously guard the mix of ingredients which make up their array of medicines, or muti. And there are also shops like this one here in downtown Johannesburg selling all the raw materials for the most powerful remedies. Now, the smell in here is just a little on the pungent side, but that's because the range of ingredients available is mind-boggling. Everything from animal horns and hides to plants and herbs to whole monkey carcasses. Leading one of the largest groups of traditional healers is Mercy Mancy. After seeing visions of her grandmother telling her to become a Sangoma, Mercy trained for 4 years to learn the secrets of previous generations of healers.
You must be called by the ancestors. That is why now you'll find that all our belief, everything which we do, we believe that is the ancestors.
It's believed that the ancestors communicate with the Sangoma through the rolling of animal bones. It's the Sangoma's job to work out what advice the ancestors are passing on to the patient and then to prescribe the appropriate medicine. If patients are leading an unhealthy lifestyle, a good Sangoma will use their knowledge and respective position to give out practical advice.
When a patient asks, "What can I do? How can you help me? What do I do now? I need help." You just throw the bones again, respectfully, and show the patient that, look, this bone now is saying that you must use a condom. And then the person or the patient will agree. You change behavior of the people. But because you are a traditional healer, there's somebody who's guiding you, the ancestors. You see that now the people, they are agreeing.
Although traditional healers are much in demand for their skills in diagnosing illness, there is still the option of some off-the-shelf remedies for less serious ailments. Coming home in Soweto has a whole different meaning. This is the commuter's favourite, courtesy of the Sangoma. Now, I normally go home with an evening paper. Over here, you can buy Umvasankunzi, which literally translated means wakes the penis. Will this help me with my sex life?
Yes, it will. This is my potion to revive the penis. I mix herbs and the bark of some special trees and boil them in a pot. This medicine will help you if you have a limp penis. It will help you to make your woman happy.
In townships like Soweto, where traditional beliefs are still very strong, Sangomas have an important educational role to play. They regularly attend cultural gatherings in order to alert people to the danger of AIDS. In a country where more than 1 million people are HIV positive, Sangomas like Mercy are trying to save lives by showing that cultural traditions and modern medicine can work hand in hand.
In the old days, there were traditions and laws that were taught to young people. They were taught to us when we were young. We were told no sex before marriage. We were also told not to have sex with a stranger. What to do? We have to ask ourselves what can be done. Since no one will go back to those old ways, and yet everyone wants to practice safe sex, we realized that the only way was to use the Western method. With this method, you use the condom. It goes on and it is done. And you can now put it inside. And oh, my friends, the pleasure that is there, that is the truth. Believe me, once your mind is free, once you know that you will not catch anything from your lover, once you know that you are 100% safe, that you are practicing safe sex, that is the truth, I tell you.
He's got the right idea. Lads and lasses, don't have an erection without thinking protection. That was my advice to people I met in Berlin who were into partner swapping. So, join me next week when the Good Sex Guide gets swinging and shows you how sex can keep you healthy in Nepal, and we conduct our own panty poll.